It's that time of year again. Time for the big game. But this year is a different edition because it's the 60th edition of it. Hey guys, welcome back to the All Sports Pass. My name's Eli. We got Max here. Um, and we've got a lot to talk about. Of course, it's the big game. And all I got to say is this: y'all better enjoy this game because it's the last game we have for another 6 months. So it's y'all's last chance to enjoy football for a while. Um, but before we get in this video, you already know we got to start off with the verse of the day. And today's verse comes from Proverbs 21:21, and it says, "Who he who he who pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor." And also, before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe for more NFL content. Without further ado, let's begin. So basically, I don't know if you remember the predictions video that me and you did for the NFL season, like a few months and months back. But all I can say is this: is that I did not expect these two teams to even make it in the first place. Like I'm being serious. Like I actually did not expect the Patriots and the Seahawks to make it. Basically, this is going to be one game here that's going to be interesting because it's a rematch from Super Bowl 49. And I'm going to be honest, the Patriots got lucky that game because the Seahawks came 1 yard short, but not in the way you think. For some of my younger fans up here, let me just tell you what happened. They basically had Marshawn, and I'm just gonna be honest. He he's he was beast mode, and so what do you think about the So what did you think about that right there? Like what did you think about that? Like when you first saw that play, like it's and Marshawn Lynch. Sorry, I don't know why my mind blanked out on him for a minute. Um, hey, little disclaimer: it's been a rough week, so just bear with me. But Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. He ends up like he's dominating the whole defense, and then they decide to throw on the 1 yard line when they have him in the backfield. And that gave the Patriots their fourth Lombardi. So all I got to say is the Seahawks, if they pull something in this game similar to that, just hand the ball off. Because if they do that again, dang well the Seahawks fans are going to hate it. Like the Seahawks fans are so going to be ticked off. And hey, I'm sorry if I offended any Seahawks fans, but hey, I just had to put some discussion in here. But fun fact, this is also not only the first Super Bowl in over 10 years for the Seahawks. This is the first Super Bowl in 7 years for the Patriots. But what's more interesting is that this is the first Super Bowl without a quarterback, like for the Patriots, that's not named Tom Brady. So, and see, Max, you got the jersey there, and also I think some of your Titan fans, just based on your background, would probably be ticked off with you because the coach of the Patriots is Mike Vrabel, and let's just say his first season back coaching for the Patriots, he made the Titans really regret firing him. Now I will say this though, that when he had when he played for the I'm sorry, not played coach. Now he was also a player. But when he was a coach, he for the Titans. Let me just tell you his seasons at Tennessee. Of course, 2018, 2019, 9-7 win seasons, and then he ends up in 2020 going 11-5, and then 2021 they go 12-5, in 2022 7-10, in 2023 6-11, and then let me just tell you this though, don't let the record fool you. In 2019, the Titans, even though they went 9-7, they went to the championship game, and they lost to the eventual Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. And the Titans also knocked off, actually, threw a pick six on Tom Brady in what would be his last game in New England, and to end that game. Then they end up knocking off the number one seed in the AFC, Baltimore, and then they end up going to Kansas City and in that AFC championship game where they ultimately lose. And then, of course, just had some seasons that just wasn't just didn't go their way. And then after a year off of coaching, this man is 14-3 with the Patriots, and he's going to the Super Bowl. So all I gotta say is this: what do you think, if you're since you're a Titans fan as well? What are your thoughts like what were your thoughts when you first heard that they were firing Vrabel to now him coming back to New England and then going to the Super Bowl?
Dude, that was so sad when they fired him because like he was such a good coach. And he just had nobody on that team besides Derrick Henry because we already traded JJ Brown, but the defense kind of sucked. Derrick Henry didn't have an O line, so like we just dug ourselves into a hole and fired the coach that we shouldn't have fired. Now I am happy for him because the Patriots got a great team led by Drake May, who should have won MVP. But yeah, just seeing Vrabel coach a Super Bowl is just so cool.
Yeah, as well. And also, we'll say this, that the Patriots, here are their three losses as well. Um, and they lost 20-13 to the Raiders at the start of the season, which honestly, looking back now, they're lucky they don't rank based on the AP rankings, because this would have been a horrible loss on their resume, because the Raiders, they finished with a 3-14 record. So they're just lucky that didn't happen there. Then, of course, they barely win against the Dolphins. They then lose to Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers before, of course, winning against, then, of course, winning against the Panthers. They win against the Bills by 3 points. They barely hold on against the Saints. And the Saints also, this isn't really a good loss, really. I'm sorry, if they would have lost, this wouldn't have been a good loss because, they went 6-11. And then, of course, they go and beat the Titans, which I'm going to be honest, no surprise there. Just because, Titans are still in kind of rebuild mode.
Yeah.
And then they go and beat the Browns. And then they beat the Falcons by 1, which I'm going to be honest, I do not really think that this really isn't a good win, basically, because Atlanta, although they did finish 8-9, they were 3-5 at the time, while the Patriots were 7-2. And then, of course, they go and play the Buccaneers and win, which is also actually the team Tom Brady retired with. So, yeah. And then, of course, they go and beat the Jets, which I will say this, though, that and I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm also shocked the Jets were even able to do as well as they did against New England. They only lost by 13, so that's actually not too bad for this go around. Then they play the Bengals. and the Bengals, they finished with a 6-11 record as well, and then they beat the Giants, and then this one here is the worst loss of the season for them. That one loss against Buffalo, they were up 24-7 at halftime against them. Buffalo comes back to win that game. And the thing about it, though, is that I just think that the Patriots, of course, they really let one get away. Then they go to Baltimore, defeat the Ravens, and then, of course, they play the Jets, where they win 42-10, and then they finish off their season against the Dolphins, winning 38-10. But here's the thing, though, it's like when I've been seeing like a bunch of stuff, like both online and of course to people around me, like talking about the Patriots. I'm going to be honest here. I agree with them. I think the path to the Super Bowl for them was kind of a bit of an easy one, like just in terms of like strength of opponent and stuff. And it really comes to show because they end up, playing the Chargers in the wild card round, and they were only able to win 16-3. And then, of course, they play the Texans in the divisional round, win 28-16. But however, that was a game that Texans fans and CJ Stroud fans will want to forget. CJ threw 4 interceptions that game, and yeah, so sorry Texans fans who may be watching this. And then they go to Denver and play the top seeded Broncos in the AFC Championship game. And let's just say that this game, instant classic, as Denver, of course, put up 7 points in the first quarter. Then the Patriots tied up with 7 points in the second, and then they tacked on another 3 points in the third, and then fourth quarter, scoreless. And defense basically proved that they win championships here in this game. And of course, that last play by Sean Payton, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the plan was there, because that was just not a good play in my opinion. like, and of course, this game was a while back, so I want to assume that they just had to get in the. So I want to say they had just gotten into field goal range, and then okay, no, sorry, I got wrong game confused. Sorry guys, let's rewind. They ended up throwing an interception, so that's what I was thinking of. Sorry, I just got the games mixed up. They then threw an interception to send New England to the Super Bowl. And all I got to say is I don't know what they were thinking there. That's just what I think. I understand, desperation play, but you got to be more careful with the football. Like, you got 2 minutes left, of course, 2-minute timeout. You got to be careful with the football. So yeah, and of course, I believe you watched that game. What were your thoughts on that?
I think that the defenses played like extremely well. It was just that Drake May kind of struggled. Again, I don't think the Broncos quarterback was just ready to play in that game, just because Bo Nix just got injured. So I think the Patriots defense gives the reason big game is this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and really, this was a battle of the defenses too, like we mentioned. And I have a feeling that the Patriots are going to have amazing defense in the Super Bowl now. And I think Drake May, of course, has has really changed my mind on a lot of things as well. Like I honestly was like, how good is Drake May going to be? How what will we see him do in New England? And I'm like, he is not going to do well this season. He's done very well, and like you mentioned, he got robbed of MVP in my opinion. And then now, of course, and like I mentioned earlier, I will apologize again. I just had the games messed up. I had the games mixed up with another round and against another team, so I apologize there. But yeah. So with the so yeah, now with that, let's talk about Seattle. What do you say? And I'm just gonna say this: I did not expect Seattle to even make the playoffs this year. I really did not, and or like if they did, I thought it was gonna be a first round. I thought it was gonna be a first round exit. That's what I thought it was gonna be, but nope. The Seahawks made it to the Super Bowl, and their quarterback, some will probably say it's the most unexpected one. Old Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, of course, he, like, in my opinion, what a great point of redemption in his career. Like, really, he's on multiple teams before he goes up to like he goes to Minnesota last year, proves himself, and then he ends up helping the Seahawks to a Super Bowl, and now he has a chance to win in the Super Bowl as a starter. So, in my opinion, like of course, Sam is just he's proved the doubters wrong in my opinion. Now, I still think of course, he's still got a lot to earn before. Like I think he's still got a lot of respect to earn, like both on and off the field. But I feel like Seattle is really in a good position, and so because of that, I just feel like this game could go either way, and of course the 28-year-old has been in the NFL since 2018. He played for 5 teams. The Jets, who drafted him, the Panthers, the 49ers, and I'm going to be honest, I do not even remember him with the 49ers. Like in this is towards hey, you guys behind the screen, and y'all better not say that I don't know what I'm talking about, because let's just be honest. Max, do you even remember him with the 49ers?
I think he would be a backup.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Yeah, because like I believe they started Purdy that year, I think.
What year was it?
23.
Yeah, that would have been Brock Purdy.
Yeah, so basically, hey, y'all better not say I don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm gonna be honest, I forgot this man even played for the 49ers. Then he goes to Minnesota and he plays for Seattle, and now he's going to the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's as a starter. So that's just all I gotta say. For That's just all I gotta say about him. He's been really turning his career around, and if he can keep this up, I think he's gonna be great. And so of course, what are your thoughts on Darnold? Of course, like from what you've seen throughout the season.
I think he's been a top 10 quarterback all year. Obviously, getting 4,000 yards this season. So, like, I know a lot of people thought he was gonna fall off in the playoffs again this year, but that hasn't happened yet. So, especially since he has like great receivers with JSN leading them in receiving and Cooper Cup. So I think Seattle has the upper hand there, and even with Seattle's defense, like like me personally, I think the Patriots might need to like step it up.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Of course, the Seattle defense has really done so much as well, and also actually on the matchup predictor for ESPN Analytics, Seattle is actually favored to win this game. And when's the last time we saw a Patriots team that ended up making the Super Bowl that where they were not favored? You know, like that's one thing because like of course keep in mind this is before like by the time they had it, it was actually I think when they upset the Rams and in '02, and that just comes to show that that it don't matter who you are. Like New England's back in another Super Bowl, but this time with a whole different roster, and of course it's going to be one interesting game to see here, but I think that of course it's going to be very interesting because of course leading tackler for the Patriots Robert Spillane, after a status update here, he is questionable ahead of the Super Bowl. And then, of course, they're leading, and of course, the sack leader for the Patriots has been listed as questionable ahead of the game on Sunday. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Like because if they end up not being able to play, then that could be a huge blow to this Patriots defense. And of course, on the injury report, you have a bunch of you have a guy who's like you have some guys on IR, and of course you have injured reserve guys, and the estimated return according to these, like of course you have their offensive tackle Amari Knight, his estimated return day says he's on IR, estimated return February 9th, and you have their fullback Robbie Outs, or I don't know how to say his name. Basically, he because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not trying to say anything or anything, but I'm just gonna say this: I don't know how to pronounce OUZTS. I don't know how, but yeah, but he's questionable. And then of course Zach Charbonnet is of course placed on IR, and according to this, the estimated return for the rest of the guys that we're going to say is February 9th. Bryce Cabledew, their guard, and then of course Torrey Horton as well. So yeah, and then of course, like we mentioned earlier with some of these guys, of course Harold Landry, Robert Spillane, it's and then of course another few of these guys, Terrell Jennings, and then Eddie Gregory, and then Joshua Farmer as well. So that's just all we really got to really think about here is like like if the Patriots, of course, I feel like I'm more concerned about the Patriots injured reserve, honestly, if I'm like as a non-biased kind of guy, really. I'm more worried about the Patriots injury concerns because these guys, because if let's say Spillane and Landry cannot play on Sunday, that's going to be a huge blow to that Patriots defense. And then of course now Seattle though, and just seeing here's their path to it. They ended up, of course, hold on, where's my oh, no wonder why I'm on the wrong game. And they of course host the 49ers in the divisional playoffs, winning 41-6, and they go to the NFC Championship, beating the Rams 31-27. And then yeah, so they're going to be hosting it, and then Rams of course turn it over on downs, and they end up, Seattle just and Seattle of course has to punt it, 31 seconds left, and then just had to throw a pass to Nakua, But here's the problem: he didn't get out of bounds. And if he gets out of bounds, they have 1 second on that clock, and they could have been able to get in there to the. They could have been able to get in potentially to the end zone, but it unfortunately just didn't happen. So yeah, so that's how we're here today. But however, I think the Seahawks defense, of course, is really great as well. But I think, in my opinion, it's going to be determined which team's offense is going to step up. And personally, I'm going to be honest, I don't know which team will, because I can also see the game going both ways. What are your thoughts on the Seahawks?
I think they come into San Francisco, be better team, but no, when the Patriots, they know how to fight when their backs go against the wall. Like look back at Super Bowl 51, for example, down 20-3. Now obviously half of like almost everyone from that roster gets retired, but those guys showed us how to fight like a patriot, and I think that's what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, I personally think this though, that it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a close game. Of course, you're going to see Sam Darnold. You're going to see Drake May, of course, slinging it like crazy, like slinging like, and then of course you're going to see a whole bunch of downfield plays, in my opinion. And so it's just going to be a whole bunch. But I will say this though, and I'm sorry, Seahawks fans, if y'all are on the 1 yard line, hand it off. I had to do y'all dirty there. I'm so sorry. But however, all I gotta say is this: is that I can't wait for this, and I hope this is going to be way better than the Super Bowl last year, because last year Eagles basically won it at halftime. So yeah, so I want to see a game go to the final seconds, and then I can wait 6 months for football in peace. Yeah, so that's really all I got on my thoughts. Really, there anything really that you think you'd want to add that the viewers may want to know?
Yeah, I happy Patriots winning, uh, like 51-48.
So you got them winning by a field goal.
Yeah,
So you think it's going to basically be like 0-2, where they basically get in the field goal range and just kick the field goal to win it as time expires?
yeah,
I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to say this as of now. I think I'm actually going to go against you. I think I'm going to take the Seahawks, just simply because the Patriots, like I said, like, I just don't think their margins really in the postseason, and like really seeing the schedule they played. I just don't really see how the Patriots can, now they could prove me wrong, but I just don't see how they were even really able to make it in the first place, just because of their strength of schedule. And then of course they get some barely wins against of course the Chargers, and then of course the Stroud 4 interception game, and then they barely beat Denver. So that's just all I got to say. And so now, of course, I also think that for the Seahawks, and of course, I'm sorry, not Seahawks, for the Patriots, like we talked about those two guys who are questionable. If they, in fact, cannot play on Sunday, that is going to be a huge blow to that Patriots team. And yeah, that's all I got. So yeah, hopefully, but really, in all honesty, I just want a good game just to end off this season. And then, of course, we got to look forward to August, or really July if y'all watch preseason. So, yeah, it's going to be one interesting game. It's going to take I hope it's going to be played every second of those 60 minutes. and I just can't wait for it. And all right, that's going to end the video, guys. If y'all like this video, give it a like, subscribe for more NFL content. Let us know who you all got winning the game on Sunday down in the comments down below. And yeah, with all being said, God bless and have a good night.